Okay, Stacy. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick tutorial on how to create and use the basic functions of a Blackboard collaborative session. So what you want to do first is you want to make sure that you click on the Blackboard Collaborate link that's on your Blackboard course. Once you have clicked on that, it's going to take you to the screen here. You want to go ahead and create a session. Make sure you select the start date and time and the end time for your sessions. I usually like students to sign in 45 minutes before, so that way they could get acclimated and test their headsets if they are having any audio or technical issues. You want to name your course. I usually name it Live Chat 1. And once you do that, you go ahead and save your course. When you save your course, it's going to come up on your archive session here. So what you want to do and have students do as well is direct them to the Blackboard Collaborate link that's on or inside your course, and then you want them to click on these three dots here and have them join the session. Okay? Now, if you are going to have a guest speaker or someone come in that's not a student, you could always copy the guest link that's here and email that guest link to them, or text them the guest link or her, so that way they could go ahead and join your session without being a student enrolled in your class. So that's important to know. So you'll click on join the session. It'll bring you to your interface, which is going to be the interface for the course. And so as just a rule of thumb and kind of tip for you, you want to log in maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes before your class begins. And so you're going to be prompted to this screen. What you first want to do is know that you could always share your audio, and you're going to have to share your audio. So you want this to be green. And you want to share video, so you do want students to see you. You don't want them to just listen to a voice and not know who's behind that voice. This here, students are able to raise their hand, and you're able to get notified as to who has a hand that's raised to have them, speak into the mic and ask a question if they have a question. So students will be able to raise their hand, and you'll get a little notification on your end notifying you that they have a question. Before anything, you always want to make sure that your session is recorded. So if you click on these three lines here to your left, you're going to go ahead and start the recording of your session. You'll know that your recording is, or your session is being recorded, when you see that little box that just popped up and you see this little camera here to your left that's saying recording in progress. So you want to set it up like this first. Unmute your mic, share your video so they can see you, and start your recording. Then you want to also make sure and you see who's in your class. So you want to click on this lower right hand purple tab here, and it's going to open your kind of second interface of the course. And so here you'll have a chat thread where students will be able to type in questions or comments or concern. And so what I like to do is I always like to start off with welcome class, and I go ahead and do that. And I do have a picture of me here, but it's hard to see, so make sure you have a picture of yourself that's something that you could something that they could see. That way it personalizes it a lot more. And so yeah, so this will be the chat thread here. You'll be able to see everybody that's attended your session or that's attending by clicking on this here, and this is where all your students will show. So you'll be shown as a moderator, and your students will then be shown as students or participants. So you can see who's here. This is a good way to take attendance and award points for those that attended. And then the next tab here is share content. So you could share a whiteboard And you could go ahead and select one of these tools here. You could type something, so you could type, hi, you could type whatever. You could draw if you want to illustrate a point. You could go ahead and point with this pointer here. You could go ahead and clear. So there's many things you could do with your whiteboard. You could also share your application. And so what that means is that you could share your entire screen. That means sharing your entire desktop. So I use this whenever I want to demonstrate or show a resource. I want to share a website. I'll share my entire screen, and then I'll go and log in or type in a website, and they're able to see everything that I'm able to see on my desktop. So that's another thing there, and my computer's running low on battery, as you can tell. So then what you can also do is you can share files. And so what you want to do is you want to go ahead and select a file. And so I usually do a PowerPoint. Just just as my agenda, I have a PowerPoint that has my agenda slide there. And so what this does, it converts the PowerPoint into your slides in your class, and then students are able to see these slides. So again, I do recommend, highly encourage you to log in maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes before the class begins to do all of this. And so once the slides are in, you could then share the slides with your class. And what you see in front of you is what students will see. And you could go ahead and navigate through your PowerPoint if you have one by clicking on the arrows here. Okay? So I usually have an agenda with week 2 and questions or assignments that we're going to discuss for that day. Okay? So there you have it. I have shown you, one, how to access the course and how to create your session, how to copy a guest link if you're going to have a guest speaker for your class, or if you're going to have someone just observe you or whatnot. I do recommend that you log in early. Once again, I'll keep on saying that. I have shown you how to unmute your mic or share your audio, and how to share your video, and how students could ask questions if they have a question. And they'll do this by clicking on this and having their hand raised. So when this happens, you'll get a notification, and then it's best practice for you to stop and take that question from that student. I've also shown you how to maybe begin a little intro with saying welcome class in your chat thread, and also monitor your chat thread because a lot of students will be asking questions through here. I've shown you how to access who is in your class by going on the attendee screen. So you will click on that and it'll show you who is in your class, so you'll know who's there. And then I have shown you how to share your content, either by doing a whiteboard, sharing your application screen, or by uploading files onto your classroom. So there you have it. If students do not show and they email you, one thing that you want to do is refer them back to this here, and they will then look at any recordings. So you want to go ahead and say, if they ask you, Professor Stacie, I missed the class, I want to make up the points, have them go to the Blackboard Collaborate link, and then have them go to the upper left hand corner to the menu, click on that, and then go to recordings, and they will be able to see the recording that has been archived. They could click on that, view the recording, write their 2-paragraph summary of the recording, and submit that as an alternative assignment for points for attendance. So there you have it. If you have any questions, feel free to call me, and I hope you have a great first week in your class, and good luck.